I'm Marla Millard, and I am the Director of Housing and Energy, and thank you for joining Ashtabula County Community Action Agency's celebration of 45 years of weatherization. The Weatherization Program is an energy efficiency program with the main goal of making our community's homes more comfortable by improving energy efficiency and lowering energy costs. Our inspectors, together with an energy audit, will determine what measures we can install to improve the energy efficiency of our clients' homes. These measures may include insulation of the attic, sidewalls, and floors, reduction in air leakage, and furnace and hot water tank repair or replacement, as well as addressing health and safety issues with ventilation and CO smoke detectors. In the following video, you will see our inspectors, furnace technicians, and crew members installing these measures, explaining procedures to the homeowner, and even some client testimonials. Along the video, you will also see some of the benefits of weatherization sprinkled in just to remind everyone the importance of weatherization and why the program must continue. Please remember, anyone interested in applying can simply call 211, stop by our office located at 6920 Austenburg Road in Ashtabula, or call the office at 440-997-5957 and dial extension 550 or 554 to speak to one of our intake specialists who will be more than happy to help you with any of your questions. You can also visit our website at www.accaa.org. Again, thank you for joining and have a wonderful day.
The weatherization program will cover many aspects of the home. We'll take a look at the mechanical systems of the house, the heating systems, the hot water heaters. We will look at the building shell, which will cover the roof space, the attic space, the sidewalls, the crawl space, the basements. We will check out health and safety measures, which will include installing carbon monoxide detectors and smoke detectors. We will look at the combustion of the furnace and the water heater for flue gases spillage, which will, make sure that the carbon monoxide levels are safe in the home and going out the chimney where they're supposed to be. And we'll look at moisture issues if the home has any, roof leaks. There's multiple health and safety measures that we will look into in a home. We will check out the electrical and the water conservation measures, which could include installing energy efficient light bulbs like LED bulbs. If the house has an electric hot water heater, we will look into low flow shower heads and faucet aerators, and water heater blankets and foam pipe, insulation pipe on the hot and cold water lines. We can install smart strips. We can do client education to try to teach the homeowner how to save energy better. And there's just many, many different ways that weatherization can try to save energy, and every house is different.
With Carol from Weatherization. Thanks for joining us today. So we just wanted to know a little bit about the weatherization intake process. So who qualifies for weatherization?
It is all income based, so anybody can qualify. They can call us. We can give them the income for one person, two person, or three person household. But the program is all income based.
Okay, gotcha. So where would clients come if they wanted to apply for weatherization?
They can come here to our office, pick up an application. We can mail it out to them. They can go to community centers, libraries in the area. We do Lake Geauga, Ashtabula, so we do try to hit all of the libraries and community centers so they have available applications.
Okay. And when they come to the office, what is the process from there? Do we just hand them an application and they take it home and fill it out, bring it back? What's the application process?
Well, most of the people will take it with them or will mail it out to them. The required documents, you know, the gas bill, the electric bill, income for everybody in the house over 18. Ownership of the home, or if they're renting, just have the owner of the house sign off on the paperwork. So, but they're more than welcome to fill it out here. We can help them if they want. Most people will mail it back into us or bring it into us.
Gotcha. So you kind of touched a little bit on the documents needed. You said, can you go over those documents that we need?
We would need their electric bill, the gas bill or their fuel, whatever they heat their home with, fuel bill, and income for anybody in the house who's over 18. If they don't have income at the time, we require a self-declaration, which just states that they don't have any income, and they get it notarized and they sign it. And the utilities must be in their name. Yeah, so if they're renting, it cannot be in the owner's name. They have to be in their name.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very good. So, typical day for you. You come into the office. Lots of times when I come into your office, you're talking on the phone with clients. Can you kind of run through what you would talk to them on the phone about?
You know, lots of times, what our programs are. We do a refrigerator replacement program. So we do have a lot of calls for that. We do special programs, which might be handrails or outdoor railings, fixing, you know, steps, rotten steps or porches. So we do have an application for that.
Mm-hmm.
3 special programs. And sometimes they're calling because they got a letter in the mail and they're missing information.
Mm-hmm.
So then we're just telling them what they need.
Okay.
Yes.
Good.
Whether it's income or the utilities not in their name, or how can we fix it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys do a lot in there. So what is your favorite part of this job?
You know, I'm a people person. I like chatting with them, but I definitely like to help them.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see them get what they need, make their life easier.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
In our cold climate, the weatherization program on average can save the low-income family about 30% on their heating bills, which in turn is about $300 per year. For every dollar invested by our funders, $4 is returned into energy and health and safety benefits. And the weatherization program helps the country reduce its dependence on foreign oil and reduce carbon emissions.
So we're here with Kevin from our inspection department. Thanks for joining us today, Kevin.
Thank you.
So can you explain a little bit about the inspection process?
Yeah, it's for weatherization through the state. We go out to the client's home and we pretty much go through from the ground up, all the way to the attic, going crawl spaces, knee walls, check furnaces, hot water tanks, health and safety, the whole electrical system of the home. Just basically make sure everything's safe, first and foremost, and then we compile a bunch of information and see if we can make the house warmer and more energy efficient.
Awesome. So what kind of things do you look for in an inspection?
Mainly a lot of health and safety stuff. That's like top of the list. We look for all that first. Do combustion analysis on the appliances. Make sure they're not spilling gases into the home. Make sure there's no gas leaks. Look at the electrical system. Look for novelty wiring. Do we need to upgrade the wiring? Do we need to upgrade the box? Things like that. Fire hazards, trip hazards. And then we go in and look at all the installation needs, air sealing.
Awesome. So what is the role of the client in an inspection?
The role of the client is pretty much to ask questions. We try to interact with them as much as we can to get them to ask questions or suggest things to them. We'll ask them questions to get them talking about their home. A lot of times we talk about where they keep the temperature set up in wintertime. Give them client education on a gas stove and oven, making sure that the CO levels that it's putting out aren't over a threshold where it could harm them health-wise.
So it's kind of like a good way for the client to get to know their home better.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Awesome. So how many inspections do you guys think you do a year?
Oh
Or a
my.
month, or?
I average about 4 inspections a week.
Okay.
Probably 80 to 100 a year.
Okay. How long does an inspection take?
Typically, it takes anywhere from 3 to 4 hours, depending on the size of the home, of course. Bigger homes are going to take a little longer. Where are the appliances at? Are the appliances in a crawl space? Or are the appliances in the attic, meaning the furnace? It's a little bit more time consuming. So just every house is different.
So why would a house get deferred or referred to another program?
There's several reasons a house would be deferred. Most common ones are bad roofs. If the roof's leaking, obviously we can't put insulation, or they don't want us to put insulation in the home, because it's going to be compromised by weather. So we want to make sure we get that roof fixed. There's not programs in the weatherization program itself to take care of that, so we find other means of getting that done. Knob and tube wiring is another one. We might find asbestos in the home through vermiculite insulation. Could be asbestos wrap on the pipes in the basement. Those type of things would defer a home. Mold obviously is a big one.
And so from there, you would just have the client contact any mold inspector? Or?
Well, usually it's kept up to the client to take care of the mold mediation. They can hire somebody to do it, or they can do it themselves. The best they can, you know.
Gotcha. So what is your favorite part of the job?
My favorite part is, I would have to say, I get a lot of joy out of helping people. Sometimes even save their life. I've come across this one lady, it was 2 days before Christmas. I went to her house, and I noticed right away the furnace was all black, and I thought, it's natural gas, it shouldn't be like that. So that was a red flag. It turned out that furnace was putting out very, very high levels of carbon monoxide. Had to shut the furnace down 2 days before Christmas. Went out and got her a couple electric heaters. It was holiday, and we went back and put a new furnace in for her.
Oh, wow.
So it potentially saved her life, because it was getting cold at that point. She probably would have been turning that thing on.
Awesome. Well, thanks for hanging out with us today and having a little interview. It was good to hear about what the inspection process is.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Kevin.
The Department of Energy in the state of Ohio requires all weatherization employees to attend numerous trainings throughout their career. These trainings most of them are done in Athens, Ohio at our training center. Our inspectors and final inspectors have to have a certification called the BPI QCI, which is the Building Performance Institute Quality Control Inspector Certification, which requires continuing education credits every 3 years. There's other trainings that require 3 to 5 year recertifications.
Today we're going to talk about some of the combustion safety equipment we use during an inspection and through the process of weatherization. We have here is a personal carbon monoxide detector. The inspector or tech would wear that on his side while he's entering the home to detect if there's any ambient carbon monoxide levels that are being escaped into the home. Could be possibly causing harm to the tech or the people in the home. So we want to monitor that, make sure there is no levels. If there is, how high are those levels? What do we need to do to rectify that? This is called a Sensit. It's a gas leak detection device. What we use this for is to go around from the meter, from the gas meter to the whole system, an entire home, look for gas leaks. If we sense a leak, we'd always verify it using soap bubbles. This is called a Testo combustion analyzer. We use that to do tests on hot water tanks and furnaces, whether they be gas, propane, or oil. We check things like stack temp, carbon monoxide levels, oxygen levels. We can kind of get a good idea of what's going on with that system. Do we need to clean and tune it, or is there something more seriously going on with it? Very, very good piece of equipment.
The inspectors will use this carbon monoxide detector to measure the levels of carbon monoxide in the home prior to the inspection and also during the inspection. The inspectors will use this gas detector and test the entire gas line system in the home to try to find gas leaks. This is the inspectors will use this combustion analyzer to test any fossil fuel burning appliances such as gas ovens, ranges, hot water tanks, and furnaces to check the diagnostics of the units.
Tonight we're doing combustion analysis on the furnace. This is where we're going to check stack temperature, oxygen levels, carbon monoxide levels. Kind of gives us an idea of how dirty it is. Does it need a clean and tune, or is there other issues going on with the furnace? At the same time, we're checking the drop diverter on the hot water tank, making sure the furnace is not spilling back to this, and it is. So that's an indication there may be some blockage in the chimney. We'll have to take a look at that. Okay, we're going to do a worst case draft test. We've set the house in winter condition and got our worst case scenario. So now we're going to draft the hot water tank, make sure it's not spilling. It's very important. We don't want to have the poisonous gases into the home, so obviously we want it all going up the chimney where it belongs. And that's what this test is for. There she goes. At the same time, we're doing combustion analysis on the hot water tank, checking oxygen levels, CO, stack temperature, things of that nature. Okay, we're at a client's home here. We're getting ready to run a blower door. This system here helps me to measure the air leakage of the entire home. So it's going to give me an idea how tight the home is. So we set up a fan in here. We got our digital gauge set up. Right now we're getting our baseline number, which is 0.2. So I'm going to go ahead and record that on my sheet. Turn the gauge off. Turn it back on to reset it. Push mode. Then we're going to start off with an open. Take the cover off. Then we're looking at the gauge. We're going to run it up to 50 pascals and then get a reading on the right side. That'll give us our CFM 50 reading of the house, the air leakage. Okay, we're at about 2657. So that's our number.
You just saw the inspector using this blower door kit. The blower door kit will be used during the pre-inspection to measure air leakage, and then we'll do it again at the end of the job to measure the post-air leakage. The blower door is hooked up to a computer which turns the air leakage to numbers, and we use these numbers to gauge the air leakage reduction at the end of the job.
This is Community Connections, it's through First Energy, okay? It's about saving energy. Obviously you have a new refrigerator. I'm still going to take some information off of it. We're going to look at some of your light bulbs and see if we can get rid of the high energy bulbs and put low energy using bulbs. These, what I have here is 9-watt LEDs. These replace a 60 kilowatt incandescent. That's the bulb from the beginning of the light bulb. Puts a little filament in there, gets really hot, burns a lot of energy.
Right.
gets replaced with a 9 watt. So if you figure all your bulbs in your house, you can only imagine how much you're reducing that usage, so you're bringing that bill down.
Right.
I'm also going to give you a power strip today. This is an energy saving surge protector. Today's TVs and their accessories that work with the TV use energy when they're plugged in, even though they're not turned on, they're still using power. So this is designed to control that. The white one is where the TV gets plugged into. That controls anything plugged into the green. That would be DVR, VCR, gaming system, Roku, Fire Stick, anything that works with your TV. Notice there's 2 red ones here. Those stay powered up. Those are for cable box or modems or internet modems. Because those devices need to stay powered up in order to function properly.
Right.
So it's all surge protected. So you have a lightning storm and it gets struck, it might kill the strip, but it's going to protect anything that's plugged into it from being damaged. Okay?
Oh, yeah, that's great.
Sally, this is called an Energy Savers Partnership Plan. It's actually part of the state weatherization program. It's in the same guidelines as Community Connections. Some suggestions of things you can do that can save you some money, save you some energy. Because you do have electric hot water tank, suggest that you wash all your clothes in cold water. Today's detergents are formulated to work well in cold water and get your clothes equally as clean. By not using heated water, you're not having to heat that water with a hot water tank. You're going to save a tremendous amount of energy there.
I never use hot water.
Good, very good. Another good suggestion is when your washing machine shuts off, if your clothes seem like they're kind of heavy to retain a lot of water, you put it on a spin-only cycle, you'll take additional water away out of the clothes, cuts the drying time almost in half. You'd be amazed how well that works. A lot of your newer machines are doing what's called a super spin nowadays. So it gets a lot of that water out before you put them in the dryer. Another great one, you're probably not going to like it, unplug your microwave when it's not in use.
I'm sorry, what?
Unplug your microwave when it's not in use. Plug it in as you need to use it, and then unplug it like you would a toaster or anything else. You're going to save a lot of energy because it's just using a lot of energy sitting there and being plugged in all the time.
Okay.
All right? I have you sign here and then print your name on the bottom.
Part of the weatherization program includes that the duct system is properly sealed. The product we seal the system with is called mastic. It's important to have a properly sealed duct system because it can lead to all kinds of health and safety issues due to moisture and pollutants in the basement and crawl space. It also can lead to unnecessary doctor visits because of the breathing problems that these pollutants can cause. This is a brand new furnace we just installed because the old furnace had a cracked heat exchanger that we found. So now they have a high efficient 95 plus furnace that is brand new and safe. One of the most important things you can do to maintain a furnace is just simply change the filter every 30 days. The weatherization will also make sure that this water heater has a properly vented venting system that properly escapes the house of the pollutants and the flue gases that the water heater puts off. More about cracked heat exchangers. This is an example of a good heat exchanger in your furnace. Now we'll show examples of cracked heat exchangers. It's important to have your HVAC system annually checked by a professional once a year to ensure that they find these cracks. A crack in your heat exchanger can lead to leaking out carbon monoxide, which can lead to carbon monoxide poisoning.
Also have a new hot water tank. The old one was more than likely leaking and is the main reason for replacement on these. The wiring has also been replaced through one of our programs. This house contained knob and tube before, and that has all been removed and replaced. New Romex. nice and safe. Dryer is being revented with rigid hard pipe. Much safer, flows better. These seams will be all sealed and connected. New vent on the outside. This is the old stuff we want to get rid of. It's they catch lint and it just doesn't flow air very well.
If you're heating your home with an electric forced air furnace, adding a heat pump to your system is the most efficient way to heat your home.
More mastic work. Electric air handler matched with that heat pump outside. Like I said, this is going to operate quite a bit more efficiently than the old electric furnace. Brand new mobile home furnace. So the inside of the furnace.
Okay, we're talking about the supply system in a mobile home, which is a heating duct where the hot air flows to each register. There's many places where heat can escape, so we do what's called masticing or sealing the supply system to stop that from happening. Make sure you're getting all the heat in the room where it belongs. One of the key spots is in these drop boots here. It's a boot that goes in there, it's got little fingers, and they get folded over. A lot of times they'll come undone, the air will escape through those. It goes in between the floor and the belly of the home, you're losing your heat. So what we do is we seal those areas up. We'll take some foil tape and put in here and seal them up, and take a mastic paste and put that paste over that, and it hardens. It makes a nice tight seal so the air will come into the room and not escape through the belly. Another important part is the duct system goes past this register here. It's kind of about the same thickness of a pop can, so it's not really thick material. What they do is they fold it over and they staple it. A lot of times they will come undone, and then your air will escape under the belly, between the belly and the floor, losing your heat. So we seal those areas up as well.
Weatherization results in a cleaner indoor environment, improving health outcomes relating to respiratory and other health issues. After a home is weatherized, residents report fewer bad physical and mental health days. Missed school days decrease, and there are fewer hospitalizations or ER visits for asthma or COPD.
The installation crew starts off each morning by getting the truck loaded up with materials and tools for the day. We work rain or shine year-round. The weatherization program operates all year.
Hello everybody out there. What you see here is our insulation machine. This is used for fiber insulation blowing, so we can use it to blow sidewalls and attics with cellulose insulation, fiberglass insulation, or even rock wool insulation, which we do not use rock wool. We mostly use cellulose insulation. Loaded up in this hopper right here. Fit multiple bags in here. If you want to come over here and bring that camera closer on, you can kind of like point it down inside there and look at those shredders in there to break up that insulation and turn it into like a real loose product. Because when we first throw it into the machine, it's real tight in the bag. It shreds it up, and then it shoots it through a couple of blowers, and then it comes out this end here, which we hook up to with a hose, and we have about 150 foot of hose we can stretch across the house. And then we have multiple settings, so we have 2 blowers, and these are controls for each blower, and with different settings on the blower versus the amount of insulation that we can set through the machine, we get different, what we call dense packs. So when the insulation goes into the walls, we want it to be real tight, and that creates an air sealing along with your R value for your insulation in your walls. And then with attics, we typically do what's called an open blow. So the fiberglass or the cellulose insulation goes in there real loose, and then it We put about 12 to 15 inches of insulation in it, and then you get your R value. This machine is brand new. It's never been used.
All weatherization employees are required to obtain the lead EPA Renovation Repair Paint certification every 5 years. Every home that was built prior to 1978 requires us to assume the home contains lead-based paint. If we do any work that will cause the paint to be disturbed, then we will have to work in a lead-safe manner. Two-part foam is an insulation product that has two different chemicals that mix together as it's being sprayed, creating a very dense foam with a very high insulation R value. Two-part foam allows us to air seal and insulate at the same time with the same product. Two-part foam is used in a number of different applications, but most commonly used to insulate crawl space walls and basement band joists, as you can see here. Attic insulation is typically installed using the open blow method. The insulation machine is set to allow very little air to be mixed in with the insulation product. In our weather climate, we will install an insulation value of up to an R49, which is about 16 inches. The product that is most common is cellulose. It's the most cost-effective product to achieve the greatest savings to investment ratio. With the energy savings, cellulose is made up of the mostly recycled newspapers. It also contains boric acid that makes the insulation fire retardant, insect retardant, and mold retardant. Exterior walls are insulated with a method called a dense pack. We achieve this by setting the insulation machine to allow a lot of air to be mixed in with the insulation. The insulation product used is also cellulose. We will remove the siding panels around the house and drill each wall cavity. A small long tube is inserted into the wall cavity, installing the insulation. The dense pack method allows us to achieve the greatest R value, typically between an R15 and an R19, depending on the depth of the wall cavity. This method also allows us to install the insulation really tight, which creates an air boundary, slowing the air penetration into the home way down. Again, cellulose is the best product to achieve the greatest savings to investment ratio. The most common problem with mobile homes is the insulation blanket or belly. This belly is usually in very bad condition, allowing a lot of air penetration into the home. The insulation blanket from the manufacturer is around 3 to 4 inches thick, resulting in very little insulation. These blankets are installed under the floor framing, leaving a very large air space with zero insulation in it. We will repair and air seal the belly, then pump this entire airspace with loose fill fiberglass insulation, resulting in 8 to 10 inches of insulation. The first thing most of our clients notice and are very happy about is how warm the floor is. It's very satisfying to leave a job knowing we made an impact in having our clients be comfortable in their homes. When the weatherization work has been completed, a final inspection will be performed. This inspector will be different than the initial inspector, resulting in a better thorough inspection. The inspector will look at all the work that was performed and take photos along the way. After the inspector goes over the work, he will perform all the same diagnostic testing as the initial inspector did. He will then sit down with the client and go over all the final inspection forms. We will use this opportunity to complete a client satisfaction survey. All the weatherization work is backed up with a warranty. The products have the manufacturer's warranties, and the weatherization program provides a workmanship warranty as well. A 3 to 6 month follow-up survey is also mailed out to every client. This year we plan to weatherize 115 homes, and we have 17 full-time employees. When a job calls for it, we use contractors such as plumbing, electrical, and roofing contractors. Last year we completed 102 weatherization jobs, even though we had special COVID-19 circumstances. Our weatherization program implemented additional safety precautions for COVID-19, including calling customers the morning of their job to ask the COVID-19 screening questions. Also, the crews wore masks and sanitized all the surfaces they touched. Frequent temperature checks, hand washing, sanitizing of vehicles and equipment, social distancing were implemented for the safety of our customers and staff.
Dear Community Action and staff, I wanted to thank you and all your staff to know how much my husband and I thank you for all that you have done for us. My husband had a stroke, a heart attack, and then a double bypass, plus another surgery all this year. He is 71 and I am 78, and everything broke at once. Your workers did a very great job at all they did for us. They were all very polite and very kind and really saved us. We so much appreciate all that you did for us. The basement, the furnace, the installation in the crawl space, and insulating the pipes too. We now have a new hot water tank, furnace, and new refrigerator. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say the men that you have sent to our home are the nicest we have ever had. Thank you and thank them. Dearest Community Action, we want to thank you for always being there for us. Each one of you there, I believe, has helped our family, whether it be on the phone or here in our homes. You are all beautiful individuals. Your people are fantastic, wonderful, so very kind and compassionate for ones that need, always willing to help no matter what the situation may be. We are truly grateful and very thankful and appreciate all you do and have done for us. Also, you are just great, amazing people. Thank you for being a part of our lives. You are all a blessing to our family. God bless each of you and your goodness to us. I'll come back to you. Thank you. You guys are awesome in our hearts.
All right, hello everybody. I'm here with one of our weatherization clients. And so, how did you hear about the weatherization program?
I heard about it through HEAP when I applied for HEAP.
Can you explain some of the specific things the weatherization program was able to do for your home?
Oh, sure. I didn't have a furnace in my home, and so when the Community Action got things underway for me, and they were very quick about it, I was impressed. They brought a crew in, assessed the situation, and it seemed like no time at all. They were out in a matter of a few days, and they started installing my furnace. They did a tremendous job. It was wintertime, and they worked under duress, but what a tremendous crew. They were very prompt, very polite, and left no scraps behind. When they were done, they were done. They'd done everything properly, and I was very pleased with it. And I had heat. That was one of the things. I had heat in my house.
What else did the weatherization program do to your home?
Well, I needed a front entry door and a rear door. They were in terrible condition, and here again, a couple of young men came out, looked at it, said definitely you need doors. I felt good right away knowing that was going to happen, and then they came out. They ordered the doors, I guess, or picked them up somewhere, and they came out, and they did a bang-up job. I mean, those doors were put in. They even did some framing work for me that was much needed, and nice and square and tightly sealed. So I got the front doors. Community Action also insulated the attic, and then down the basement where the foundation meets the bottom of the house, they sprayed foam all down through every inch of it. And by golly, I noticed a difference in the heat right away. I was able to save and turn that thermostat down because it blocked a lot of drafts. Everything made a difference, the furnace and the insulation and all that.
So you definitely noticed a comfort level change in your
Absolutely,
home.
the comfort level changed. Yes, indeed. I felt more comfortable living there. Like I say, it eliminated almost all the drafts that were coming through there, and it was much more comfortable. Summer and winter, it's been better.
There you go. Did you notice? Have you noticed a change in your utility usage, specifically your fuel oil?
Yes, I don't use near as much fuel oil. With this, they put in a state-of-the-art furnace. It works excellent. It's in very solid, and they did all the duct work for me, and I noticed right away the heating oil bill dropped down. That ordering that fuel, it cut way back, made a big difference for me, and that's important. I'm on a fixed income, and it's so important to save every dollar you can.
So do you feel that the weatherization program what helped you out in keeping your home and being able to be comfortable and live in your home?
Oh, why, absolutely, absolutely. I don't think I'd be there right now, to be quite frank, if it wasn't for Community Action. I couldn't have done it on myself. There's no way possible. I'm on a fixed income, and I do what I can on my own, but sometimes we have to reach out, and to have someone like Community Action there and just be so prompt to reach out to people and help them and hold nothing back. I mean, they were very honest, and they did all they could for me. I never had a freezer before, and Community Action asked me about that. I didn't even have to ask them, and I said, no, I do not. And they said, we're going to get you a freezer. And now I have a freezer, so I'm saving again because I can buy things that are on sale and in bulk. So it changed everything all the way around by having that freezer. That was another blessing.
Would you recommend our services to any family or friends?
Oh, I most certainly would. I wouldn't hesitate to explain to them the assistance that I received and to point them in the direction of Community Action. Tremendous people, very honest. I noticed that in the beginning. They didn't put anything off, they didn't stall, they didn't tell you any stories, and very prompt, good good people. Blessed to have them done that work on my house. Oh, every single person that showed up for the different facets of repair were just great young men. They were very polite to me, and here again, prompt, and that's important. And we had a lot of laughs, and they were very neat. They didn't leave one scrap behind. Whatever they were doing, whether it was the foaming in the basement or the furnace, if you will, or the insulation in the attic, not one scrap. I didn't have to pass a vacuum. I mean, it was done really nice. Very kind people, nice young men. It was a good experience for me.
Would you like to give a shout out to our funders?
Yes, I would. I'd like to thank the state of Ohio for all they're doing for individuals like myself and families, and what they're putting into it time-wise and financially. I'd like to thank the federal government for backing this program and keeping it going. It is crucial. It is necessary. And there's a multitude of people that need this. And I like to know it's taking place, and I know where this is coming from, and I'd like to thank those people from my heart for all the blessings I received.
All right, hello everyone. I'm here with one of our weatherization clients. So how did you hear about the weatherization program and community action?
A friend of mine, she passed away now, too bad, but I was telling her, I said, after my husband died, I said, I don't know how I'm going to pay these bills. She said, Marcy, have you ever contacted Community Action? I says, no, who's that? She said, they're wonderful people. She said, my mom has them. She said, I said, where are they at? Out of town? Because I won't drive out of town. She said, no, they're right down Ostenburg Road. So I called here, and I called them, and I was shaking. I thought, oh, dear God, please don't let them say no, you know. I called. They came over. I had to do a lot of show my Social Security, what I make a month, and my gas bill, my electric bill. I had to show them everything. So I went, got the paper, and I showed her what I made, what they take out of me, and everything. And she said, perfect. She called me about 2-3 days later. She said, you're in. I start crying over the phone. I did. I said, I could cry right now.
Could you mention some of the specific things that the weatherization program did for you in your home?
They gave me a new furnace. They put insulation in my house. They put a new air conditioning. There's nothing yet.
Did we do any like air sealing or insulation or anything like that?
They did insulation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, honey. Yes, they
Okay.
did. Yeah. And the furnace was my big one.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And oh, you know what they even did? I did have no register down the basement.
Mm-hmm.
They even, in one of the big, what do you call them? Not pipe, but
The heating ducts?
heating ducts, they cut one and they put a register in there for me.
The heat, they added supply heat to the basement.
Yes.
Yes.
And now I can go down there and iron and, you know.
Yeah.
And I love that. And then the air conditioning, because the summer I had fans and,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I heard I could get that, I thought, oh God, you're on my side. Thank you, Community Action. Thank you for all the people there. There's not one person I met here that I did not like. They all treated me like I was royal. I'm not kidding you.
Have you noticed a comfort level change in your home?
Oh, yes. My gas, I don't have to put it sky high to get air, you know. Now I just put it on 65. JJ showed me how to do that. He said, now that you're efficient, Marcy, you don't have to put it like 75, 80. You don't have to do that. So I put it now on 65, 68, and it's so comfortable. Oh, God. It's just like, I'm like living the dream. I'm not kidding you. I really am.
Where do you think you'd be in with your situation if it wasn't for the weatherization program and community action?
I have to be honest with you, Jim. I was going to sell my home and just try to get a little apartment that I could afford.
Would you recommend our services to friends or family?
Anybody. Anybody, I would, if anybody's having a hard time, just like I did those people across the street from me, they were having a hard time. He came over one day and I told him, I said, Randy, I know a thing, you know, that if you want to call community action, I gave him the number. I told him to call either Carol or Marco. He must have came over and thanked me 5, 6 times. Just call them and I'm sure they're gonna help you. So after that, he came over, you put a new roof on for him, it was leaking. And he come over, he couldn't thank me enough.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about the weatherization program, community action, or any of the employees within the whole organization?
Honey, I can't say enough, Jim, about them. I can't. Because without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And that's the gospel's truth. I could not afford a furnace. I could not afford air conditioning. I could not afford to hire somebody to put insulation in my house. I mean, I don't know where I would be today. I really don't. Sometimes I think about it and it scares me. All my stuff that I owe it all to community action. And that's the gospel's truth, honey. Yeah.
How about continuing to
Don't
fund
stop
the
it.
program?
I don't want them to stop it, honey. I don't know what I would do. Right now, I'd have to sell my house and my car, and I have to go somewhere, you know, that I don't want to go. Okay?
So continue to fund the program.
Please, please, I'm begging them. Please, honey. This is the best thing that ever happened in my life. And I mean it, honey. Really.
Our lower income households spend a larger portion of their income on their utility costs. This is referred to as energy burden, spending 4 to 5 times more. We would like to thank our weatherization funders, the Department of Energy and Health and Human Services, as well as First Energy, Dominion Energy, United Way, the Direction Home of Northeastern Ohio, and the Ohio Department of Development for their continued support in leveraging funds to increase the scope of work that we can perform in our clients' homes.